Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm back again with another rant, and this time it's Jason Goes to Hell. Final Friday, right here, folks. Directed by Adam Marcus, and this happens to be a when did it come out? 93. This is a 1993 another I say so-called slasher, flick of the Friday the 13th franchise, starring, I could care less about these fucking actors. They can't act away out of a paper bag. John D. LeMay, Cary Green, Aaron Gray, and Kane Hodder's Jason. Yeah. Alright, so before I get into this plot, I'd like to give another shout out to my man, Review King MB, Remember Rock for Life. And, Review King, if you're listening, I enjoyed your Halloween. I enjoyed all your Halloween reviews. I enjoyed all your reviews and rants on the Halloween franchise. I'm thinking about reviewing all the Friday the 13th, movies. Good. But I do not own Jason X. Thank God I don't own Jason X. That movie sucked. And so let's get into this one, shall we? I'm gonna get into the plot before I get into, and after that I'm gonna get into what I do like about this movie and start ranting and trashing this movie. Because I don't know what to say about this fucking movie. I have to say it sucked. But anyways, Jason Goes to Hell. The opening sequence starts where this smoking hot chick, who's camping out at the Voorhees house. She's about to take a shower. Lights go out. And then she goes out, find out what's going on. She sees Jason, and they have a 5-minute chase sequence. She's being chased by Jason into the woods, and then Jason shows up out of nowhere. It's about to kill this chick. And suddenly we get like a bunch of spotlights and shit, and it turns out that chick he was chasing happens to be an FBI agent undercover. So she lured Jason into a trap. Jason fell into a trap. So a bunch of SWAT guys are jumping out of trees and, popping out from, the grass and shit, tall grass. They're shooting at Jason. Jason's taking bullets and shit, I have to say, that seems fucking awesome. That was awesome. Jason does happen to be one of my favorite killers. Jason happens to be one of my favorite villains throughout slasher movie history. And so I have to say, the FBI shooting at Jason. Jason's taking bullets, Michael Myers style, baby. Yeah, so I have to say that, again, that movie scene was fucking awesome. That was awesome. I'll give it that. Then blows Jason. Then Jason gets blown the fuck up. Then Jason is dead. He's destroyed. Is he? So opening credits. And, and we get where Jason's, or at least what's left of Jason, being wheeled to the morgue. And, this coroner guy examines him, starts to examine him, examines Jason, and his black still beating heart, starts beating all of a sudden. Yeah, Jason's heart starts to beat, hypnotizes the coroner guy, goes nuts and eats Jason's heart. Wow. You hear that? Eats Jason's fucking heart. Okay, so after he eats Jason's heart like a piece of chicken, then he becomes possessed. Then the corner guy becomes Jason. He looks like himself, but but the guy still looks like himself, but he's possessed by Jason's soul. So so the main plot of the movie is Jason has a new ability. He's now a parasite. Jumping in the bodies. He's jumping in the bodies to go after his long lost blood relatives to make himself reborn again. So any blood relative he happens to have, not explained, he's either to die by the hands of a blood relative or becomes reborn again with a new body. Wow. So that's the plot. And now before I get into rant mode, let me tell you what I do like about this movie so far. There's a couple of things I liked about the movie. Jason taking freaking bullets, Jason getting shot at, gets blown up. That was awesome. That was pretty cool. And let's see, what else did I like? The deaths were some of the deaths in this movie were more brutal. They were a little more brutal and decent, and it worked pretty well. And although some are a little silly too, pretty funny, I have to admit. And the one death scene that I'll never ever forget. There's one or two really good death scenes that I'll never forget, that I enjoy the most. Is the one where those three kids were camping out in Little Crystal Lake, and those two teens were having sex, they were fucking, and the corner got possessed by Jason, picks up a barbed wire spike, stabs through the tent, right out of her chest, and splitting her in half. I'm like, wow. Holy fucking shit. That was sick. Yeah, so that death scene I liked. That was fucking, I don't know, I can't find a word to describe it, it was fucking sick. It was sick. And the other death scene, another decent death scene was, when he's possessed by that douchebag, reporter. The reporter guy who's dating the main character, and he kidnaps his girlfriend's mother's body, and hides it into the boy's house somewhere just to get ratings. So he turned out to be a douchebag. Turned out to be a fucking douchebag. Yeah, and after he becomes possessed by Jason, let's see, so another death scene, another death scene or two that involves the anchor guy possessed by Jason. Let's see, where he takes these two cops, where he gets shot a couple times, he wakes up, and he takes these two cops by both their heads and smashes their heads together. He bashes their heads together. I thought it was cool, and it's pretty funny. And then in another scene, while he's gouging the guy's face into the deep fryer, to some guy's face in a deep fryer, and where this guy's big girlfriend tries to save him, he takes somebody, he just smacks her, he just bashes her face in, which I thought was also funny. And that was a pretty decent death scene. So some of the deaths were pretty brutal. I liked, Jason getting blown up after getting shot at, that was awesome. And the most epic part was Jessica Kimball's the main character. I don't give a shit about the actors. I care less about the fucking actors. They'll suck. They'll suck ass. But Vicky, the redhead chick that works at the diner, she's I mean, she got her big hero moment. That she was a fucking badass. She was awesome. That was epic when, yeah, where all that crazy shit, Jason, where yeah, with a possessed anchor guy killing people left and right in that diner, and she's shooting at him and she stabs him with a skewer. Fucking badass. That chick was awesome, and she was smoking hot, by the way. That chick was a fucking badass. That scene I liked. So those are only three things. So three things I liked about this movie was the deaths, Jason getting blown up and shot at, and Vicky, the redhead chick, with her big heroic moment. Now I'm going into rant mode. What the fuck was this director thinking? Why how the hell does this bounty hunter guy, Creighton Duke, know all the shit about Jason? Why couldn't you make that obvious? It wasn't explained how how this fucking bounty hunter knows all this, knows everything about Jason, everything about the Voorhees. It's excuse me. Nothing is obvious in this fucking movie. It just happens. He just happens to know all the shit about Jason, not explained. And I thought Jason was the only fucking child out of Voorhees' family. Him having long lost blood relatives was not explained either in none of the Friday the 13th movies. Wasn't explained he had a fucking sister or niece, great-great-grand, whatever. None of this shit was explained. Why? Why was this shit explained? Come on. And the acting, oh man, don't get me started on the acting. The acting was just flat. I didn't give two shits about the acting. The acting was boring. It was fucking boring. None of the actors, not one actor in this movie, besides a sweet cameo from Kane Hodder, who played Jason, was likable. None of these fucking characters were likable. They couldn't act the fucking way out of a paper bag if their life depended on it. Hello, McFly. Oh man. And I'm like, okay, so what else could I shit on about this fucking movie? What else could I shit on? Oh yeah, we only get to see Jason for 10 minutes, for 20 minutes tops in the movie. Jason's in the movie for the first 10 minutes before he gets blown up, and then he comes back again. Then he comes back again in the last 10 minutes of the movie. He kills the bounty hunter, and then have a fight with the ex-boyfriend of the main character. Man, she was boring. I didn't like the main character in this one. She was very she was a fucking bitch, and she was unlikable. I just didn't like the main character. Her ex-boyfriend's having a 5-minute fight with Jason, and Jason has all his fucking powers. He has all of his powers, his strength and all that. Why couldn't he just fucking kill this guy? What? Come on, Jason. Come on. What the fuck's going on? Why couldn't he fucking kill this guy? He has all his powers. He could have killed this guy when he had the chance. Why is he beating him up instead? Tossing him around and shit like that? It's just ridiculous. The last 10 minutes of the fucking movie was just fucking ridiculous. Okay? It was just ridiculous. Oh, damn it. So overall, the acting sucked. None of the characters were likable. And the writing was just laughable. And, the writing in this movie was just not only laughable, but, I mean, again, this Duke guy, this Creighton Duke guy, happens to know all about Jason and his family. It doesn't make it any obvious. He just happens to know. Shit just happens. Yeah, and that 5-minute fight that that guy has, that nerdy dude has with Jason. Rather than Jason killing him, he beats him up with smacking him with ray candles, tossing him around like a rag doll. Come on, Jason. This is not the Jason that I know. Really? Oh man. Yeah. So I wonder what the fuck is more to say about this movie. What's more to say about this movie? To tell you the truth, watching this movie, I have to say it's fucking garbage. There's some parts in this movie I liked, but the acting, the writing, the directing was just garbage. It was fucking garbage. I mean, doesn't make anything obvious. Nothing is obvious about this Duke guy knowing all about Jason and his family and shit like that. Yeah, so this is my review. This is almost my review on Jason Goes to Hell. And fair warning, spoiler alert. If none of you haven't seen this movie, if you haven't seen this movie, because I'm gonna spoil the shit out of the ending, I'm gonna spoil it anyway. Towards the end, if you haven't seen this movie, I suggest you stop watching this review right now. Yeah, so as I said, fair warning, spoiler alert. At the end of the movie, after Jason is being dragged down to hell by demons, and that nerdy guy was almost dragged down with him, and his idiotic, stupid bitch, ex-girlfriend is just standing there watching him, just watching him get dragged, and she finally helps him. After that scene, then we get a nice Freddy Krueger cameo. Then, we see Jason's mask just sitting in the dirt. Freddy Krueger, well, sort of, his gloved hand pops out of the ground, pulls Jason's mask down. So that indicates that there's going to be a Freddy versus Jason, which we waited years for that movie. But we were supposed to get that movie, I think, a year later, something like that, sometime later. We ended up getting Jason X. We ended up getting that piece of fucking horseshit Jason X. Yeah, we ended up getting that crappy Jason X. And 10 years later, after that, we ended up getting. Then we finally got Freddy versus Jason. Yeah. So anyways, I explained what I liked about. So here's my thoughts and opinions. What I liked about the movie. What I didn't like about the movie. Hey, this is a rant. So this fucking movie, this garbage gets, I don't know why I have it, but whatever, gets 1.5 star out of 5 stars. It gets only 1.5 because the decent death scenes alone and all that stuff that I told you that I liked. Remember, this is if you like the movie, great, that's good for you, but I don't like this movie. Hell, I don't even know why I fucking have it. I just want. Maybe it's because I'm a big fan of Jason. I'm a diehard Jason Voorhees fan. I love Jason. I love Jason. He's my favorite villain. He's my favorite villain of all time. Well, I'm wearing a Freddy Krueger shirt, but I love Jason. I don't think the show was cool anyway. But anyway, so what do I have to say about what do I have to say about this shit? Review King, my man, if you're listening, if you're watching this, I wonder if I could do the honors. I wonder if you could do the honors for me. Well, if you don't mind me to do it, I'll do it myself. Okay, Jason Goes to Hell, the final Friday. Fuck you. Fuck you. You piece of shit. Go eat shit and die. Kill yourself. And in the meantime, before I conclude this review, after I'm done with this review, I'm gonna go take a piss on this fucking movie and shit on it and feed it to the dogs. Okay? So that's my rant on this garbage. You know, once again, shout out to my man Review King MV, Rant for Life. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you enjoyed the review, rant. So, do me a favor, if there's anything that I missed or left over, oh yeah, we also get a cameo of that Necronomicon from Evil Dead. Yeah. So, so, as always, leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you've seen Jason Goes to Hell and hate this movie as much as I do. Like I said, if you like the movie, fine, cool. But let me know what you think. And as always, like, subscribe, and until next time, take care.